Pastor Mark asked me to tell a little bit about my hope story. And I hope I can get through it. My name is Jimmie Boulware. Many of you know me, but for those that don't, this is my story. My wife and I moved here from Mississippi in 1989. I was raised in the Presbyterian church, and my wife was raised in the Church of God. So when we moved to Georgia, we thought we'll just meet in the middle at the Methodist church. So our family attended Hope Church for years. We started back when it was in the middle school and before they moved to this building. In 2000, Pastor Willingham, his dream was to have a preschool for the kids of Paulding County. And I came home from work one day, and my wife says, I think I'm going to interview for the job of the preschool director. And for me, it was out of the blue. I was like, what? And so she interviewed, and she got the job. I'm like, how do you start a preschool? So she took her notepads. She made appointments with church preschool directors around the metro area. She went, she prayed a lot, she had way more faith than me. And in January of 2001, the preschool started. I always knew she had faith. I mean, she was raised in a Christian home just like myself. But I had no idea the faith that she really did have. It would be like coming down to like 2 weeks before preschool was supposed to start for the year. And she'd have more kids than teachers. And I was like freaking out for her. And she would say, it's okay. God has a plan. And she'd get a phone call from somebody new to the area that asked if she had any openings, and it would end up being a really good Christian woman, and she'd have that teacher, and it was just like a miracle. For me, I thought it was a miracle. She started the Hope Backpack Program with Hiram Elementary, which still goes on today, so y'all bring y'all's food. Anyway, Teresa was the Hope Preschool Director up until 10 years ago. 10 years ago, yesterday morning, at 9:08, she passed away after having a stroke at the age of 50 out of the blue, and changed my life. Hope Church, Hope Preschool, that was her ministry. She wanted kids to know that Jesus loved them. All right, I'm just a regular guy. I'm not a speaker, you all can tell. I'm not rich. I'm not a financial planner. I'm just a normal guy living day to day. But I was raised in the church. I attended first grade through ninth grade at my church that I grew up in, Christian school. I left there. I went to Woodland Hills Baptist Academy in Jackson, Mississippi, where I graduated from high school. Then I went on to Mississippi State, Hale State, and graduated from there And in 1986, I went to work for Sam Walmart. I was an assistant manager at a store that God put me in. That's where I met my wife, Teresa. She was raised in a Christian home too. So God had a plan. We were married in 1988. We moved to Georgia in 1989 because after I got married, I realized that retail was not the way to go. And my mom and my sister lived here, and they always told me, oh, there's lots of jobs in Atlanta. Just come on over. You need to be over here. So we moved over here, little country girl and me. And my daughter, Morgan, came along in 1992. My daughter, Brooke, came along in 1995. Great. We were a young family with 2 little kids. Money was tight. We always attended church. And I've read the Bible. I know I was supposed to tithe, but 10%. No, there was no way. I couldn't make it. I couldn't pay my bills. When Teresa started working started the preschool, she told me one day, she said, I'm tithing my 10%. I'm tithing my 10% from my paycheck. And you should too. She was right, of course, as usual. But somebody had to pay the bills. And she said, have faith. God will make it happen. Ye of little faith. I started out at like 3%, and it was hard. It was like writing that check. But at the end of the month, all the bills were paid. So it went to 5%, then it went to 7%. And the bills were always paid at the end of the month. And we had extra left over. And I'll never forget when I started paying a full 10%. It was hard to believe. It was the first check that I would write when I got paid. And somehow, a miracle. The bills would be paid, and we'd have more left over. It was like the loaves and the fishes. God had a plan, and He made a way. Now, for those of you that feel like you can't pay 10%, you're not paying. You're returning some of your blessings to God. Start at 2 or 3%. Give God a chance to work in your life, because I can guarantee He will. He has a plan for you. He had a plan for me. And me and my family are very blessed because of His generosity. And I love Hope Church. So I hope you will let God